Hi guys, it's Natalie here. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different for my video, and instead of making a card, I'm going to be making a spread in my traveler's notebook. Obviously, every sort of stamp set and die set that Neat and Tangled put out are just as valuable for your scrapbooking projects or other crafty projects as they are for card making. And I was really inspired by one of these stamp sets, this one called Later Alligator, to document this story of my baby's sort of first teeth. If you can just see there, she developed these little vampire teeth, which was just a little bit disturbing given I was still breastfeeding her at the time. But I thought that that story sort of needed to be documented, and it really matched these little crocodile stamps. So how I'm doing that, or where I wanted to start off with, is I've cut out some pattern paper which will fit perfectly into my traveler's notebook here, but I will just pop that to one side, and I'm going to be working on this right hand side. I've taken the 3 circle dies which came in one of the latest release die sets, the Builder Tag die. The 3 circle dies fit together nicely, so they're sort of graded, so biggest, medium and smallest one. And I'm going to just take the biggest one to begin with, and I have already cheated and I've marked my halfway point down here. And that's just so I can symmetrically line these up, because what I'm planning on doing here is creating a series of 3 windows going down the middle of this. So I've taken that biggest circle and I'm just going to quickly cut that out with my big shot here. Oops, sorry, something fell down. Real life scrapping. And then I'm just going to, so you see that that's in the middle, and then I'm going to do it once above and once below as well. Now I could just leave it as that and fill all of the windows behind there with different things, and that's what I'm planning on doing. But just to kick it up another notch, what I wanted to do, because we have these possibilities of these frames that sit nicely in one another, or these circles that fit nicely in one another, is to create a little bit of a frame for each of my windows here. So I've cut another piece of pattern paper, or it's plain paper, and I'm just going to stick that down behind. And to create then a little ring of this darker pink paper behind, I'm going to take the next smallest circle die, which is the medium die, and I've just centered it in there so I can see that ring of pink all the way around it, and I'm going to run that through my die machine as well. Now see that that's just created this lovely 2-color, 2-tone little pink frame on the inside of each of those little windows. And you could keep on going, you could do the same thing again if you like. So there is one more smaller die and you could create another color in there if you like, but I think that's enough for me. I like putting it back in my notebook as I go along to sort of see how it's working. And now it just gives you the possibility to fill each of these little windows with whatever you would like. I have this tendency, so when I'm card making or when I get all my Neat and Tangled stamps, I stamp them all out and color them all out and die cut them all out and then figure out how I'm going to use them on a card. So I'm often left with leftovers, and I always just pop them to one side because I know that I can probably use those on another project at some point. So I've got all of these from cut out from the Friendly Florals stamp and die set from a release a couple of months ago, and I thought that they would make a nice little filler in one of my windows. And then of course I wanted to bring in those alligators or those crocodiles, so that made sense with the sort of the theme of the page that I'm scrapping. So I've already gone ahead and stamped and colored in one of them, and so I'm just going to die cut him out, and he's going to go in this middle window. And then at the very top window here, just to match with the theme again, I'm going to take one of the stencils, and I'm going to just do some ink shading behind this window. So, and then I'm just going to put together the rest of my page. I don't think, you know, I've got a lot of sort of more instructions or whatnot, so I thought that I would just put the rest of this video on a bit of a time lapse so that you can see the page come together. And obviously if you do have any other questions or anything that you want to find out more about, please leave a comment or the question in the blog post below, and I am more than happy and in fact delighted to hear all of your questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. But thank you for joining with me, and enjoy the rest of this page coming together.